Hello and welcome back to another glorious day in the Corps. Now for this one we're doing the first of the bug hunt missions for me, which is Outpost Alpha 116. What makes the bug hunt missions difficult, well difficult yes, but different, is that this isn't a mission where you can exit the board at any point. This is just a straight up survival job, made all the harder by the fact that everybody only starts with a pistol and no further equipment, no main weaponry. We have to find them on the board in these crates, or as we draw cards and equip them from the endurance deck. We can place 2 sentry guns to help us, however, and I've done just that. Sentry gun A is currently watching spawn point 4 because that could be a very nasty little bottleneck for us if we're not careful, while sentry gun B is just going to try and stop all these blips that are already on the board, and potentially some from 3 from creeping up around the side of us whilst we're grabbing our initial equipment. So, other unique things about this mission, with the motion tracker cards. So it tells us to shuffle 5 random threat level 1s and 5 threat level 2s at the top and place them at the top of that deck. So the initial ones aren't going to be as bad, but we're still going to have to burn through the entirety of the deck and survive with at least 1 character if we want to win this scenario. From turn 1 I'll be drawing 2 motion tracker cards, but from turn 3 onwards I'll be drawing 4 motion tracker cards. So we are going to get swamped by Xenomorphs very, very quickly. So we're going to have to try and grab as much equipment as fast as we can. So let's see how we do then as we dive into our first bug hunt. Okay then, so start the Marine phase. We'll activate Ripley first. On activation, recycle 2 endurance cards, but there is none, so we just draw 1 card from the endurance deck. Body armor. If you failed defense roll, reveal a card. Yeah, I want to equip that now. So we'll burn an endurance card because it cost 1 to equip that to Ripley. So let's try and keep her a bit more alive. So then we'll get her moves out of the way. She moves speed of 5, and I'll use both actions to move 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Vasquez, she moves 8 for 2 move actions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Frost, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gorman, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hudson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So simple opening for the Marines. Let's just run and try and get these crates as early as possible to get ourselves geared up as we moved into the first alien phase. So first off, active aliens. There are currently no aliens on the board, but there are plenty of blips, so let's activate those. These 2 ones in this square, how far do they move? 2. So the first blip moves 1 and is sighted by sentry gun B. It takes a shot and hits on a 7 or less. That's an 8, it misses. The blip moves again, sentry gun fires again. 7 or less. That's a 2, that blip is destroyed. This blip over here moves once, sentry gun sees it, takes a shot, 7 or less. Star, that counts as a 1, that blip is also destroyed. So, blips in this square over here, how far do they move? 3. 1, 2, 3, and can be seen from sentry gun B from there. It takes a shot on 7 or less. Star, that is also destroyed. And the other 2 blips move 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that one can't be seen by the turret. And this one moves 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So on to motion tracker cards. Reveal 2. First one. Ooh. 2 blips on spawn point 2. If there's 1 or more hazards in the discard pile, randomly select 1 to shuffle back in. There are none in the discard pile, so we just spawn 2 blips on number 2. 1, 2, and they are in line of sight. Well, the first one is in line of sight, the second one not so much. So flip that over, and that is 3 Xenomorphs. So 3 Xenomorphs have appeared behind our little group of Marines, and we still have another motion tracker card to draw. 2 blips on 4. After you place the blips, move them in play by 3 spaces. So spawn point 4 is right there. So the first blip spawns, moves, sentry gun A sees it, takes a shot, 7 or less. That's an 8, it misses. Blip moves again, takes a shot, misses, and it can't really end its movement on top of the sentry gun, I don't think, so we'll move it there, but it is out of the sentry gun's line of sight. but I don't think it's out of sight of Ripley, so let's flip it over. It is a single solitary Xenomorph, so getting him on the board. And there was another blip that also spawned on 4, comes in, moves 1, sentry gun shoots, 7 or less, 9 misses, blip moves again, sentry gun shoots again, 7 or less, 9 again. We'll stick it down here, and Ripley can see it, it flips, it is 2 Xenomorphs. So, 3 Xenomorphs have managed to get around Sentry Gun A and dodging the fire even though it's coming down a straight corridor. Very, very agile Xenomorphs by the look of it. Sentry Guns both have 5 shots left in them, and we have some starting to come up behind our group as we move into turn 2. So the question is, do we stand and fight? Because they'll be able to walk around that Sentry Gun. I think we're gonna have to. But first, at the start, when Ripley activates, we circle 2 endurance cards. That one goes into the bottom of the deck, and I get to draw 1. Event, draw 4 endurance cards, then exhaust 2 cards from your hand. I'll hang on to that for now, it doesn't sound particularly great for what I need right now. What we'll do is I think we'll take a conga line of shots as we try and make our way past. So first off, Ripley will use her first action to fire her pistol into the single solitary Xenomorph on its own down there. So her aim is currently on 7, so we need 7 or less to kill it. That's a 6, that Xenomorph dies. Off it goes. Now I will exhaust a card so that she can fire her pistol again as part of the same action, but her aim is reduced to 6. So onto these 2, needs a 6 or less to hit. That's a 7, she misses. And then for her second action, I'll get her to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can clear space and get some line of sight for the other Marines as they come around that corner. So let's get Vasquez to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, and she can see it from there. And she will take a pot with her pistol as well. Vasquez's aim dial is currently 6, so 6 or less to hit. That's a 7, she misses. Aim dial goes down to 5. I will exhaust a card to take another shot with the pistol. 5 or less. 2! That's a kill scored by Vasquez. There is 1 Xenomorph left there. But that's both her shots and her move, so Vasquez is done. Next up, let's get Frost. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Frost will take a shot with his pistol. His aim dial is currently 5 or less. Oh, actually wait. Do I want to do that, or do I want to get someone with better aim to have a go? Because with Frost standing there, Hicks would be blocked from line of sight, so he won't be able to take a shot. Okay, no, let's not fire Frost. Let's keep him moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll activate Hicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because Hicks has 1 better on his aim dial. He hits on a 6 instead of a 5, so he's more likely to do it. So he'll take a shot with his pistol. First one, hitting on a 6 or less. That is a 9. He misses. His aim dial goes down from 6 to 5. Let's spend a endurance card to take another shot, hitting on a 5 or less. That's a 2. Xenomorph destroyed, and that's lucky. Woof. I was starting to get a bit panicky there, if I'm entirely honest. So what to do about these Xenomorphs back here? Because there could be any in that blip behind that stack as well, so it might be an idea to do something of a fighting retreat. So Hudson can see from there, so I'll get him to take a shot with his first action. He has an aim of 6 currently onto that stack of Xenomorphs. So first shot, 6 or less. That's a 5. We remove 1 from the stack. There are 2 left there. I will exhaust an endurance card to take another shot. Now hitting on 5 or less. That's a 6, he misses. Then for his second action I'll get him to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gorman, I don't think can actually see from that angle, so we'll get him to move 1, 2, 3, because I think he could draw a line from there. Let me just check that. No, so I don't think you could draw a line of sight from where Gorman is to that Xenomorph, so there's not much point in him standing there, so he will continue moving. 1, 2, 3. Okay, So, Marines have managed to pick off the Xenomorphs that the sentry guns couldn't, but there are still some hot on our heels and still some further in the facility as we move into the alien phase. So, first off, activate aliens. These guys here move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activate blips. So, this guy here on the board, how far does he go? 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he probably can be seen from Hudson at that point, so flip it. That is another 3 Xenomorphs. So another stack of 3 Xenomorphs hot on our tail. The rest of the blips on this board, how far do they move? 3. So this one moves 1 and is in line of sight of sentry gun B. It takes a shot, 7 or less. That is a 6, that blip's destroyed. This guy moves 3, 1, 2, can be seen by B, takes a shot, 7 or less. 2, destroyed. And then these 2 blips, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's all the blips on the board. So, draw motion tracker cards. First one, single blip on spawn point 4. If it already has a blipple model, move it 4 spaces. There is not a blipple model, so it spawns on 4, is immediately seen. There are 4 aliens. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stack of 4 calls out spawn point 4. And then for the second motion tracker card, single blip on 1. Exhaust 1 character, card for each character with a line of sight to the blip when it spawns. Nobody can see it, but a blip spawns on spawn point 1. Okay, so these are these are the easy motion tracker cards, and already it's starting to look a bit precarious with plenty of Xenomorphs on the board and closing in on us as we move into turn 3. Okay then, so start the Marine turn, activating Ripley. On activation, recycle 2 endurance cards, so they go to the bottom. And with those 2 cards recycled, we draw 1 card. Pulse rifle, excellent. Better guns are always appreciated. And I will pay the cost of 3 to equip that weapon to Ripley. So 1, 2, 3. Ripley gets herself a pulse rifle. As for her actual actions, let's get her to intercept that crate there and hopefully try and get some more gear. Okay, so moving on to the crate, Ripley moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And uses a second action to interact with that crate, which allows her to equip for free anything from the endurance deck or my hand. I'll rummage through the endurance deck, find what I want, and then reshuffle it. Okay, so I've had a rummage around in that crate with the interaction. That goes off the board. And I've equipped Ripley with a flare, which will allow me to, for a free action, discard this card to look at the top 4 cards of the motion tracker deck and put one I don't like on the bottom. And whilst I can put the rest back in any order, because I need to draw 4 motion tracker cards from this point out, that's not the really beneficial thing. It'll just allow me for a once and done discard, well not discard, move to the bottom of the pile, a motion tracker card that I am really scared by. So, okay, so let's activate some other Marines. So I'm kind of hoping that Sentry Gun A can hold off those Xenomorphs. Okay, so let's try and get Gorman equipped with something so he can run off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll get Hudson to take a shot before moving into these Xenomorphs here. So he's got good line of sight to them and 6 on his aim dial. So needing 6 or less with his pistol. That's a 5. 1 Xenomorph dies. Then I will exhaust a card to take another shot with a pistol. His aim dial goes down from 6 to 5. So needing 5 or less. That's a 9, he missed. And then we'll use his second action to move out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will get... Can Hicks see from there? I do believe he can. So we'll do the same with Hicks, I think. He'll take a shot at that Xenomorph before moving. So first off, his aim is currently on 6. So 6 or less with his first shot. That's a star, that Xenomorph dies. I believe he also has line of sight to the guys behind them, so let's exhaust a card to take another shot. Aim dial goes down to 5. So 5 or less. Yes! Pings off another pursuing Xenomorph. There are only 2 left in that little mob. But that's his first action. Get him to move out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. As for Vasquez, she can't really see anyone where she currently is, and the next ideal lot of crates will be over by spawn point 3, so we don't want to bunch up, and we do kind of want to make our way over towards there. So let's get Vasquez to... Ooh, but the sentry gun B is still active with 3 shots left in it, and if I move into its line of sight it will shoot me. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, I think, with that. So what I'll do instead is I'll step her back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll use her to take a rest action to recycle some of these cards back into the endurance deck. Okay, so finally we've got Frost to go. So I think I'll send him around this corner so he can try and give Gorman a hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so you can see around that corner. And I'll also use him to take a rest action to recycle 3 more cards back into the endurance deck. And that's the entirety of the Marine turn. So let's move to the Alien phase. First off, active aliens. A couple on the board. Let's move this guy first. He moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy moves 1. Sentry gun A takes a shot. Reducing the dial. 7 or less. 3. Brilliant, because that destroys the entire stack with the sentry gun. So they've gone completely. Great, that's exactly what I wanted. So let's go to blips then. So we have single blip on this tile. How far does it move? 2. 1, 2. Then we have 2 blips on this tile up here. How far do they move? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So onto motion tracker cards. We are currently on turn 3, so I'm starting to draw 4 motion tracker cards each turn. So this is going to get dicey very, very quickly. Blip on 4. So single blip on 4 first off. Pops in there. Reveal a card. If it's blue, place another blip at spawn 1. If it's red, place another at spawn 4. It is green, it is neither of those. So that just goes to the bottom, because it is a reveal, not an exhaust. And we get that single blip on spawn point 4. It's not moved, so I don't think the sentry gun takes a shot at it now. So first one, let's go for the second one. False alarm, recycle 1 card. Don't mind if I do. Third one. Single blip at 1. Players must either discard 1 barricade in play or place a second blip at spawn 1. If there are no barricades, they must place the extra blip. So there are no barricades in play, so we put 2 blips on spawn point 1. And then the last one, single blip on 2. Exhaust 1 card for each character within line of sight of the blip when it spawns. So it spawns on 2, and nobody can see it from there, so that's okay. So, not the worst alien turn, but we're starting to get a lot more blips on the board. So, let's see how we manage as we go into turn 4. Okay then, so start the Marine turn. So Ripley's activating, recycle 2 endurance cards, none to recycle, so we just draw a card. Ooh, flamethrower, now you're talking. So that flamethrower is very, very handy, but Ripley is currently more than 2 spaces away, so I can't just throw it to somebody else. But ideally I do want to be doing that, because that is an excellent weapon to have. So I'll hang on to that for now. But we'll just activate Ripley as normal. So, she's fully tooled up, so I don't think she needs to worry about that crate. Let's get her back to the main group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'll activate Gorman first. He moves 1, 2, 3, 4, and can see this blip. What is it? It's 3 Xenomorphs. So Gorman sees 3 Xenomorphs around the corner and quickly decides to rummage around in that crate for a flamethrower. Okay, so Gorman's second action was spent rummaging around in that crate, so that goes off the board. But for his troubles, he has pulled out a flamethrower, which is excellent because his aim dial is 4, which is garbage, but the flamethrower auto hits on 7s, and it's great for groups as well. So that's precisely what we needed. But there's still quite a few blips around that corner, so I'll send Frost in to try and give him a hand. 1, 2, 3, and he can see that stack of Xenomorphs around the corner. So I'll get him to fire with his pistol into the Xenomorphs there. So his aim dial is currently 5, so needing 5 or less. That's a 10, he misses. Aim dial goes down to 4. I'll spend a card to take another shot with the pistol. 4 or less. 4 hits. Great. So 1 Xenomorph is removed from that pile. But they are definitely going to have to do some defensive fire when we go into the alien phase. But let's worry about the rest of the Marines for now. I think fall further back, and then we take the shots on our terms. So I'll get Hudson to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And I'll use him as a rest action to recycle that lonesome card back into the endurance deck. Vasquez and Hicks to aim twice. Okay then, so going into the alien phase. So active aliens, this guy moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activating this Xenomorph here, he comes around the corner, 1, 2, and tries to attack Gorman, but these two get to fire defensive fire first. So Gorman will fire first, putting his flamer here, so it splash damages onto those two guys there. So hits on a 7 regardless, and everyone in the stack as well. So first Xenomorph, 7 or less. 3, dies. Second Xenomorph, 3, dies. Great. Flamer cooks both Xenomorphs. Okay, so not forgetting that with the flamethrower you have to exhaust 2 cards to fire it. But let's move some blips. So, aliens have all moved. Let's do the blips. Blip on this board. How far does it go? 2. 1, 2. Blips on this board. How far do they go? 4. Okay, so let's do this guy first. Moves 1. Sentry Grenade sees it. Takes a shot. 7 or less. 8. Misses. Moves again. 1. Shoots again. 7 or less. 2. Destroys it. That blip goes away. There's only 2 shots left in Sentry Gun A. These 2 blips move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And because he's in range, he does make an attack. So 3 Xenomorphs come charging around the corner. So another 3 Xenomorphs have come barreling around the corner, but we get to fire some defensive fire first. So Gorman will exhaust 2 cards to fire off that flamer again. So everyone in the stack is hit on 7 or less. He's aiming there. So first one dies. Second one dies. Third one also dies. Okay, so with that single flamer attack, Gorman has managed to roast 3 of the aliens, but there is another blip to come around the corner. It moves 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The exact same space. Single Xenomorph. He pops in there. So we'll get Gorman to fire the flamer again, exhausting 2 cards. 7 or less to kill that Xenomorph. That's a star. It's dead. Flamethrowers. They're the way to go, man. Excellent. So there is a Xenomorph bearing down on our group here, just a pair of them, but for the most part the board's actually looking quite clear. But let's draw some motion tracker cards. That's about to change. So first one, false alarm, recycle a card. Second one, blip on 3. If a blip's not placed on a spawn point within line of sight, it immediately moves 4 spaces. So single blip. Spawn point 3, nobody can see it, it moves 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third one. Oh dear. Place 2 blips on each tunnel and spawn point. Right. This is where it gets dicey. So, 2 blips on 4. 2 blips on 2. 2 blips on 1. And 2 blips on 3. Okay, so that is some heavy Xenomorph activity. And finally, the 4th card, blip on 2. Reveal a card. If it's blue, place another at 3. If it's red, place another at 2. It is neither. So we just get the 1 blip on spawn point 2. So he pops in. 2 is there. He pops in there. And before I forget, I didn't move those 2 blips up there, so let's roll for them, see how far they go. 6. So 1, 2, and can be seen by Sentry Gun B. It takes a shot. 7 or less. 4, destroyed. This guy moves. 1, 2. Sentry Gun takes a shot. 7 or less. I'm in the weird position where I want the Sentry Gun to miss and hit the next one. It misses, okay. Works for me. Blip moves again. Sentry gun fires again. And destroys it. Excellent. So that blip's gone. And crucially, Sentry Gun B is now out of ammo, which means we can actually get through that chamber without being shot by our own Sentry Gun. So that worked out quite well for us. But yeah, that's a lot of blips on the board, and I am very concerned as we go into turn 5. So, start turn 5, activate Ripley. She manages to recycle 2 endurance cards back into the deck as part of her natural ability. And we get to draw a card. Smart Gun. Costs 3 to place it, but I can put it on other people. Now this is good, she's in a good position here to actually pass off some of the flamethrower and the Smart Gun she's already got. So, whilst the flamer would be ideal on Frost, needs must at this point, and I think it's better we just at least place it on somebody at this point. So I will spend, because Vasquez is within 2 spaces of it, I will spend 3 cards, 1, 2, 3, to give Vasquez her Smart Gun. Let's give Hudson the flamethrower for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 flamethrower for Hudson. So there's 3 bips down there and there's 2 crates, but actually I don't think that'd be the best place to go, because this section of the board has 4 crates that we can use to just get stuff, and there's no spawn point back there. So that'd be the perfect place for us, really. Because Ripley's all tooled up with stuff at the moment. She doesn't need anything from the crates, so let's use her to shoot first and then see where we are with that. So, first off, Ripley will fire her pulse rifle into those 2 Xenomorphs there. Her aim dial is currently on 7, so she hits on a roll of 7 or less. 2, kills 1. The pulse rifle is fully automatic. I can exhaust a card, which I will, to attack again. Her aim dial is now 6, so hits on a 6 or less. 9, misses. Let's keep going. Aim dial is now 5, exhaust another card. Let's try our luck. I was almost a 3, misses. Once more for luck. Bump it down to 4, exhaust a card, 4 or less. 3 kills, excellent, dead. Okay, so that Xenomorph's gone. So Ripley has 1 more action left. Where will these blips go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they could potentially reach her. They'd have to get past the turret. Well, the first one I'd have to get past, but they could potentially reach her. I think we will rest Ripley to recycle some cards back into the deck. Okay, so since Ripley is a character taking a rest action, I could draw 2 of the cards from the Endurance deck. And I think I will, just because I'm hoping they're equipment cards that I can pass off to people on the next turn. So let's draw 2 cards from the Endurance deck as part of the rest action. Body armor and an event. Good. Okay, so the body armor is excellent. And then let's recycle 3 cards back into the Endurance deck. So we'll get Frost to absolutely leg it, moving 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll get Gorman to run as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to keep these guys clear until they move out. So Ripley's already gone and can't move. So ideally we need people to go in front of her if we want defensive fire. So Hudson's got the flamer, so let's put him at the front. 1, 2, 3. Hicks is kind of fine where he is, as is Hudson, so I will rest with both Hicks and Hudson. Hudson already moved once, so he recycles only 3 cards, whereas Hicks recycles 6. Okay, so they both rested, and then I will move Vasquez out to try and deal with some of these blips that are coming from there. So if we can deal with them from a long way away, that would be great. So she will move 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. So hopefully she'll have a good line of sight on those blips as they come in at us. Okay, and that is the Marines done. So let's do the alien phase. Active aliens on the board. There are currently none. So let's go for the blips. So do the blips on this board first. How far do they move? 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. That's nice to know. What about the blips up here? How far do they move? 1 as well. 1, 1, 1. What about these blips? How far do they go? 4. Okay. So this guy here moves 1. Sentry grenade sees it, takes a shot. 7 or less. That's a 6. That blip's destroyed. This guy moves 1. Sentry gun sees it, takes its last shot. 7 or less. Misses. And that both sentry guns are dead, so we'll just remove the models from the board at this point because they have no further use. That blip moved 1 already. 2, 3, 4, and we can see it. What is it? It's a single Xenomorph. Also, these blips on the same board when I rolled 4, so they move 4 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on to motion tracker cards. First one, false alarm, you cycle a card. Second one, place 3 blips on each tunnel token and spawn point. Oh god. Okay, so we've got to place 3 blips on each spawn point, which sounds insane. So, 1, 2, 3 on 1. 1, 2, 3 on 4. 1, and in the FAQ, if you can't place them there, you have to place them at the nearest available spawn point, so 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, God. Yeah, they really are everywhere. Jesus, this is going to get interesting. And we're not even done with motion tracker cards yet. Oh, God. Right, okay. For God's sake. Alright, motion tracker card number 3. 2 blips on spawn point 2, but problem with that is we've got no more blips to place. And reading the FAQ, what happens when you can't place blips is every single blip moves 3 spaces. So let's get these guys moving. Yeah, it seems like there's bad with that many Xenomorphs there, but there's not actually that many in them. So I think a good flamer shot could actually clear that quite nicely, but the rest of the blips are worryingly closing in fast, and we still have 1 more motion tracker card. 2 blips at 1. Players must either exhaust 8 cards or discard a shoulder lamp or flare equipment card equipped to... Ooh. Here's a good job I have a flare. So we will discard the flare, so we don't have to burn 8 cards, but we still have to place 2 blips on 1. So, since we know what the number of these blips are, we'll shimmy them around a bit. And we'll get those 2. And they spawn in on 1. Big conga line of blips coming into our position. Yeah, we need to get out of dodge real quick and find some equipment, find a safe haven as we move into turn 6. Okay then, so start turn 6, marine phase. Let's activate Ripley and recycle 2 endurance cards, none going to recycle, but we will draw a card, so we get some equipment that we can toss to our friend. Oh god. Right, reveal cards until you get a blue card, or if you revealed 5, discard all the revealed cards. That's a blue. Okay, good. So that gets discarded, and that gets discarded. Okay, well, could have been worse, but we didn't get any good stuff to throw to our friends. We just had the body armour, but I will pay a cost of 1 in the exhaust pile to equip that to someone who has rubbish defence and is in 2 spaces of me. Frost, Hicks and Hudson. Now Hudson actually has the flamer currently, so I'd much rather it went to him. So let's give Hudson the body armour. She can move 5, so the aliens won't catch her this turn. So I'll get her to shoot once and then move, regardless of how well she does. So let's shoot into this blob of 2 first. So her aim dial is currently on 7. So hitting on a 7 or less with the pulse rifle, taking a card to activate it. That goes in the exhaust. 7 or less. 3, 1 dead. Aim dial goes down on Ripley. She's now hitting on 6s. I'll exhaust another card to fire again. 6 or less. 4, destroyed. Good. Do you know what, let's just keep pushing. We've got a very light exhaust pile. Let's just try and kill as many of these as we can. Next one. Yep, so attacking again. Goes down to 5. Hitting this Xenomorph on a 5 or less. Does. And this is the last one she can see. Her aim die is down on 4. Spend 1 more to push our luck. Nope, misses, but that worked quite well, all considered, I think. And then we'll use her other action to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So getting out of dodge. So Hicks does have... No, Hudson has the flamethrower actually, but he'd still have to get a bit closer to fire it onto these 2 Xenomorphs. So it might be a better idea to let them come to us somewhat and run off. Yeah, let's get running. Move Gorman first because he's furthest away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll get Frost. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I actually move Frost 1 space further than he should. These Xenomorphs, could they reach him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, they could. So, how far would they need to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they could reach anyone that's there. So let's get them beyond that line a bit. So we'll move Frost again into that back corner. Then we'll step these 2 back. So Hudson moves 1, 2, 3, 4. Hicks will move 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they're not going to get us this turn. Since Hudson's out of range with this flamethrower, I'll just get him to rest to recycle 3 cards back in. And I'll get Hicks to take a shot with his pistol. His aim dial is currently set to 6. So, shooting at the first Xenomorph. So, hitting on a 6 or less. That's a 3. That Xenomorph dies. Hicks can see that last Xenomorph, so I'll spend a card to shoot at that. It bumps his aim dial from 6 down to 5. Hitting on a 5 or less. 7, misses. So that Xenomorph is still alive. Vasquez over here does have a line on those Xenomorphs over there. So let's open up with the Smart Gun. Usually it costs 3 cards to fire it, but because it's Vasquez, she exhausts only 2 cards to fire it. 1, 2. And we roll both dice when firing. So hitting on 6s onto this first Xenomorph. First shot hits. Kills the Xenomorph. It's full auto, so we'll spend a card to keep going. Her aim dial now goes down to 5. Hitting on 5s. That's a 5. That guy goes. She can't draw a line of sight to anybody else, so that's Vasquez done for now. Do I want to stay there for when that conga line comes through, or do we fall back and have a bit more of a controlled defence? We'll rest Vasquez there. Hopefully the rest of the Marines can come in and give it a hand if things get dicey next turn. And that is the Marine actions. So let's go into the Alien phase. So first off, active aliens. We have a guy here. He moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activate blips. Oh boy, we got blips for days. The blips on this board, how far do they move? 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. On this board, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This board, how far do they move? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can be seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can also be seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And can see as well. So let's get to those Xenomorphs. Not that many in those piles actually, which is quite good for us, but let's get the models on the board. Okay, so a veritable horde of Xenomorphs is barreling straight towards Vasquez. The horde itself isn't particularly dense, but there is a lot of individuals. So let's go into the motion tracker cards then, and we have 4 to draw. First one, single blip on 3. Reveal a card. If it's blue, place another on 4. If it's red, place another at 3. It's blue, so we place another at spawn point 4. So 1 on spawn point 4 and 1 on spawn point 3. Number 2. Single blip on 3. Exhaust 1 card for each character with line of sight to the blip. No one can see spawn point 3 from there, so it just appears. Number 3. Single blip on 3. Players must either discard 1 barricade or place a second at spawn point 1. No barricades in place, so we place 1 at 3 and 1. 3 and 1. And the last one, single blip at 4. Must discard a barricade in play or place another at 1. So we place 1 at 4 and 1. So blip on 4 and blip on 1. So again, every single blip is back in play, and they're all closing in on us fast as we move into turn 7. Okay, so Ripley's activation. So first off, we recycle 2 endurance cards back into the deck, and then we draw a card. More body armour, good. I can definitely give this to some of our mates. Gorman's right next to me and has a flamer, so I will exhaust 1 card to give him the body armour to try and keep him alive a bit longer. Okay, so I'll get Ripley to move 1, 2, 3, 4 right next to Vasquez, where she can see this conga line of aliens coming round, and she will open up with the pulse rifle, exhausting a card to do so. Aim die is currently 7 on this of the blob of 2. Hitting the first one, 7 or less. Star, first one dies. Aim dial goes down to 6. Exhaust a card for full auto. Let's keep going. 6 or less on that guy. That's an 8. That's a miss. And that's Ripley done. But hey, Dead Xenomorph's a good one as far as we're concerned here. So I think the deciding factor about what we do here is going to be how well Vasquez does with that smart gun. So let's mow down some Xenomorphs with it. So exhausting 2 cards for Vasquez to fire her smart gun, and we get both of these. Aim is currently 6 onto this lead Xenomorph. 6 or less on both. 2, that one dies. Exhaust a card to keep firing for full auto. Aim die is now 5 onto this Xenomorph. 5 or less on either. That's a 4, that Xenomorph dies. Let's keep pushing our luck. Exhaust another one. Aim die is now 4 onto this pile of Xenomorphs here. 4 or less on either. That's a 4, 1 dies. 2 left in that pile. Let's keep pushing our luck. Exhaust. Moves to 3. 3 or less on either. That's a 3! Oh, come on, come on, please make it so. Come on, we've got to try and push our luck with this one. 2 on the aim dial. Exhaust another card. 2 or less. 2 or 1 on either of these dice, and that Xenomorph dies. No, we missed, but admittedly that was quite a good streak. And that's Vasquez's first action. Now, I could get her to run away, but defense value's 3. She's really not going to be good at surviving that, is she? Yeah, no, I need to keep Vasquez alive because her defense roll is really quite bad. So let's get her out of there for her second action. She moves 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What else we got? Let's move Gorman up. Maybe his flamer can be used for defensive fire later. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll get him to rest to recycle some of these cards that we burned with the smart gun back into the endurance deck. We'll get Hudson to fire his flamer into this solitary Xenomorph first, spending 2 cards to do so. Rolling 1 of the dice, wherever I've hit them. 7 or less, and that Xenomorph dies with the flamer. That's a 9, it survives. He's not going to be in trouble from these blips just yet. And it would be quite good to have one of the flamers on rear guard. So let's exhaust 2 cards to have him have another go. 7 or less on that Xenomorph. 8! Misses again! Oh no. Okay, let's get Hicks to have a pop with his pistol. Hits this Xenomorph on a 6 or less. 2 hits, good. That Xenomorph's dead. And you can't see anyone else with that pistol, but let's get him moving so he can potentially defensive fire with the rest of these. Not forgetting to reduce his aim down from 6 to 5. He moves 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Frost currently has no equipment whatsoever, so I'm going to send him down there to try and ferret around in some crates. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's everybody done. So let's go into the alien phase. Activate aliens. This guy moves 1, 2, 3 and tries to take a swipe at Ripley, but everybody with line of sight to him can take defensive fire first. So Ripley will take a shot with the pulse rifle. Her aim dial is currently on 6, so 6 or less. 3, kills it. Off it goes. This Xenomorph moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Has another go at Ripley. Ripley, I'll get her. Oh, that's a reshuffle. Let's reshuffle that real quick. Okay, that's been reshuffled. So let's spend a card for her to make a shot. Her aim dial is currently on 5. That's a 9. She misses. Goes down to 4. Let's burn another card and try again. 4 or less. 9 again. We really don't want Ripley going down, and there's only one Xenomorph to follow that, so let's just keep pushing our luck. And dial goes to 3. 3 or less. 4. God's sake. Okay, right, let's stop pushing our luck with Ripley. We'll get Gorman to... Ooh. No, because his flamer would splash onto Ripley, so he's got to fire his pistol. His aim value is currently 4. 4 or less. That's a 4. That Xenomorph dies. Gorman manages to pick one off at the last minute with his pistol. This Xenomorph moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same deal. So, let's go back to front. Let's fire defensive fire from Hicks first into that Xenomorph. He currently has his pistol, but his aim is currently on 6. So, 6 or less with the pistol. 4, dead. Excellent. And don't forget to burn the card. Okay, so the initial wave of Xenomorphs has been handled. So let's move to blips. Blips on this board. How far do they move? 1. Very slow conga line of Xenomorph blips. Blips on this board. How far do they go? 1. Oh my god. Slow and steady wins the race, eh, boys? They're all just shimmying along. Blips up here. How far do they move? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. That's all the blips done. Let's draw some motion tracker cards, shall we? And we got 4 of them again. So, first one. Single blip on 1. If it's not in line of sight, it immediately moves 4 places. Nobody can see spawn point 1. Where have my blips gone? Oh, hang on. I'm out of blips. Oh god, okay, right, so that doesn't happen. What does happen is every single blip on the board moves 3 spaces. Oh no, Hudson might be in trouble. Right, okay, they all move 3. 3. Okay, so these 4 blips are in line of sight, so let's flip them and see what they are. That's a lot of nasty gribblies. Okay, so 4 more Xenomorphs and a big stack of 5 have just come around the corner in full view of Hudson, but we've still got 3 more motion tracker cards to draw. Single blip on 2, discard a barricade or put a second one at spawn point 1. No barricades, so we get 1 at spawn point 1 and 1 at spawn point 2. Number 3, 2 blips on spawn point 1. Players must either choose to exhaust 4 cards or place another blip at 4. I've got the cards to exhaust at this point. Let's get rid of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 blips pop up on spawn point 1. And then the last one. Ooh, they're in the ceiling. Place a tunnel token in a square that was in line of sight and next to this character. Reveal a card. Oh god. So we are out of blips at this point though, so I can't actually place the blips on the tunnel token, but I'm assuming that I will have to place the tunnel regardless. So let's put a tunnel token down on the board. So the tunnel token has popped up next to Ripley, but we are out of blips, and from what I can tell from the FAQ, that just means that the rest of the blips are going to move up the board regardless. So let's get them moving. So we get a stack of 4 down there, a 1, a 3 and a 2 up there. Okay, so added the extra aliens to the board, and it is starting to look very dicey indeed. Especially for Hudson, who's just staring down a giant heap of aliens and hearing even more around the corners, all on his lonesome. Yeah, I think we might need to bail out of this situation and start forming our last stand somewhere. But we'll decide where we go with that as we move into turn 8. Okay then, so start turn 8. With Ripley, I will recycle 2 endurance cards back into the deck and draw one of them. Ooh, shotgun. That'd be quite cool. I think I'll give that to Gorman, you know, because it always hits on a 5 and there's going to be in situations where his flamer can't do anything. Because I'm assuming it just replaces the pistol weapon and we'll discard that. But, yeah, that might be a good shout. So we'll exhaust 2 cards to give Gorman the shotgun and discard his pistol. If we can deal with them, that would be perfect, and then we can do a slow fighting retreat with those guys. Yeah, so Ripley could get to safety after making a shot. So let's fire with Ripley first into this blob, try and get the lead one gone at least, and fall back. Then we'll see if we can get people to go out behind him. So Ripley then firing into this Xenomorph here, exhaust a card to do so, and hitting on a 7. That's a 4, dead Xenomorph. Let's press some luck, I think, as well. So spend another card, aim dial goes to 6, firing at these. 6. That's a 2, another Xenomorph dead. Might as well, we're on a good streak. 5, 50-50 chance into this Xenomorph. 5, good, gone. Do we press our luck and try and get rid of those? Actually, is there 3 there? Yeah, there's 3 in that pack, so that's not really going to happen. So let's not push our luck anymore with that and just get Ripley out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 2 are both going to... Well, let's do Gorman first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll get into rest to recycle 3 cards. We'll get Hicks to do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Recycle 3 cards with the rest action. I think Hudson just needs to make a dead sprint at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Vasquez will fall back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And take a rest action. Getting 3 cards back from the exhaust dark pile. And Frost. Do I just make a beeline for that crate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, I could do actually. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So next turn I can get Frost to rummage around and get something from that crate. But yeah, that is the Marine turn as we go into the Alien phase. Okay then, so Alien phase, activate aliens, they all move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the big blob of Xenomorphs coming around the corner. Let's move the blips. So how far do the blips on this board move? 5. 5. How far do the ones on this board move? Bearing in mind this one was part of the board and didn't move. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, well, we've not got many blips left, but the plus point is I don't think those blips could actually make it past the Xenomorphs with the 3 they'd get for it, so I think we might be okay, somewhat. Anyway, this one. 2 blips at 3. Either exhaust 4 cards or place another blip at spawn 1. Nah, I'm keeping my cards. You can have 2 at 3 and 1 at 1. Second one, false alarm, recycle a card. Yes, please. Third one. Ooh, 2 blips at 1. We've only got the 1. So that goes there. And exhaust and 6 cards. Yeah, we need to get some of these exhaust cards back, but we've got the horde right on us. We don't have the time to do it. And then there's one more. 2 more blips at 2. Players must either choose to exhaust 4 cards or place on the blip. There's no more blips to place, they're all on board. So the blips would move 3, but the lead ones can't have anywhere to go. It's all a bit chock-a-blocked. So, actually no, they could file down to there, I suppose, on the far side, and then the rest can get a little bit closer. That is one dense clump of Xenomorph. Do you know what? If I was to Hail Mary, that would be the perfect place to do it. Who is it, the Flamer? Gorman. Gorman could do it. We'd have to clear that Xenomorph so he can make it there, but he could actually do that with the flamethrower. That might be just what we need. Anyway, that's all the motion tracker cards. So we move into turn 9. First things first, Ripley activates, recycle 2 endurance cards and draw 1. Okay, so with Ripley, she currently can't see the Xenomorphs because Gorman and Hicks are in the way. And that horde is coming around the corner whatever we do, so I think it's probably a good time to run away, all told. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's activate Hicks. We will try to clear those Xenomorphs so Gorman can get in close with the flamethrower. So there are 3 Xenomorphs in that pile. I need all of them dead from Hicks with his pistol. See if we can work some magic. So his aim value is currently 6, so hitting into there with the first pistol shot. That's a star, kills 1. Aim value moves to 5, and I won't be able to kill them all, will I? Because I can only spend 1 card to take 1 more shot, hitting on a 5. That's a 2, it does hit. There's only 1 Xenomorph left there, but more importantly, he's still a very active speed bump. So, not ideal. But let's move him out the way with the other action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vasquez can see that Xenomorph, so she might be able to clear it. Yeah, let's do that. We'll take a shot with Vasquez, burning 2 cards. She hits on 6 with either of these dice. That's a star. That Xenomorph dies. Good. Now she can't see any others, so there's no point in that. So do I stay and rest or do I fall back? I need to fall back, realistically. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's send Gorman in for a Hail Mary Death or Glory on this mob of Xenomorphs because he's got a flamethrower and I am itching to use it. So it's not going to end well for him, but I think it's the only way we're realistically going to thin down some of these numbers. Yeah, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bravely charging into the aliens. I'm going to fire my flamethrower there. So we basically cook off this entire mob. Admittedly, there's not a more efficient use of the flamer that I can think of. So let's see how we do, because they all hit on 7. So, this first stack, there are currently 4 Xenomorphs in it, all hit on 7s. First one, dead. Second one, dead. Third one, dead. Fourth one, alive. So they all go away. Xenomorph is there. This stack here, there's currently 3 in it, 7 or less. Dead, dead, alive. This stack here, there's a full 5 in there, so... Oh, where's he come from? Full 5 in that stack, 7 or less. First one, alive. Second, dead. Third, alive. 2 alive. 3 alive. 3 alive in that stack. Yeah, so I accidentally rolled one more time than I needed to with that one, but the result's still the same. We killed 2 Xenomorphs from that blob there. This guy on his own here, 7 or less. He's dead. This guy here, 7 or less. He's dead, and it was a stack of 2, so the guy underneath him is alive. Okay. Now then, the flame attack would reach these blips here, so even though I can't really know how many's in there, I kind of need to know how many I killed, because I don't think I just insta-kill them like I would a sentry gun. So I'm just going to flip these over, and we're going to resolve it. Okay, so there's 3 on each. So let's see how many I kill, and then their counter's revealed. So this one, 3. 1 dead, 1 alive, 1 dead. So there's just, we'll take that blip off and get a Xenomorph there. And that stack of 3, 7 or less, 1 alive, 2 alive, 1 dead. So Xenomorph there. 3. So not as best as that could have gone, but we still managed to kill a significant amount off, and he will still be able to fire defensive fire when they eventually come to attack him in the alien phase. So hopefully his Hail Mary will work quite well. Yeah, and firing that flamer, I forgot to burn 2 cards to actually use it, so they're going in now. Up on the other end of the board though, I completely forgot about Frost. He will use his first action to interact with that crate, and I'm going to go digging around for something nice to equip him with. So after rummaging around in that crate, Frost has pulled out a smart gun for himself, and I will use his other action to just recycle some of these cards back into the endurance deck. Okay, so finally as well we'll activate Hudson. I will get him to step back 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll use this other one to rest to get some more cards back in the endurance deck. Okay, that's the end of the Marine phase. Let's prepare Gorman's funeral pyre, shall we? As delivered by his own flamer and a boatload of angry Xenomorphs, I think, as we move into the alien phase. So, first off, aliens activate. The first one attacks him. Let's defensive fire that flamer, shall we? Expending 2 cards to do so, firing it there. Let's roast the blob again, starting with the one who's actually attacking me. On a 7 it dies. It does! Oh, brilliant. It dies. Off it goes. The guy behind it, 7 or less, dies. This guy around the corner dies. This guy also. Oh, this flame is coming good. Those 2 in the back left. 1 survives, 2 survives. This pile of 3. 1 dead, 1 lives, 2 dead. Do you know what? Bottleneck and flamer. Yeah, that wasn't as bad as idea as I think I was fearing it to be. He has just mowed through those Xenomorphs. Wow. Okay, yeah. So, next Xenomorph activates. This boy, he's going to move 1, 2 and attack Gorman. I'm going to fire that flamer again. 1, 2. I'm going to fire it there so I can get both these guys. So, hitting this guy on a 7. He's alive. These 2. First one, dead. Second one, alive. So, cooks off 1 more Xenomorph, but this guy successfully manages to get through and make his attack. Gorman only has a defense value of 4, so more than a 4, he's knocked over. If it's a 10, he's dead. It's an 8, he's knocked over, so he's not dead yet, but I mean, fair play to the guy. I think that was better than I was ever expecting it to be, but yeah, Gorman's knocked over. So, next Xenomorph in line. We'll assume that he can climb over his friend and Gorman. For this one, so he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we Mount a rescue up for Gorman. I don't think we can actually get there in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we couldn't get in range, I don't think. Anyway, blips. These blips, how far do they move? 1. Whoop. This massive blips, how far do they move? 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just move these up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. More blips than you can shake a stick at. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy on his own, how far does he go? 5. Right in. They're still filing in nice and neat for us. First motion tracker card. Place another tunnel. I will put it there. And reveal a card. It's yellow, so we place 2 blips on that tunnel token. So 2 blips pop out of the newly formed tunnel. We flip them because we can see them. It's 2 groups of 3. So 2 groups of 3 have burst out of the tunnel next to Ripley. Second motion tracker, single blip on 3. If he already has one, move it 4 towards the nearest. 3 does not already have one, so it just sits on 3. Third one, blip on 2. Doesn't already have a blip there, so it just sits on 2. And the last one, another blip on 2, but I have no more blips to place, so every blip on the board moves another 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So some of these blips I think could actually jump that gap now. So 1, 2, 3 is in line of sight. 1, 2 could not. So the rest of them just kind of pile in a bit, and we get 2 Xenomorphs on the other side of Gorman. Okay, and that is all of the motion tracker cards. So, I think we sacrificed Gorman, but I definitely think he paid his weight in dead Xenomorphs with that one. So, let's move into then turn 10.